Hello, everyone. I'm having a little bit of an issue today. Just when I came down after eating lunch, I realized something was not right. But anyway, we'll get into that a little bit later. I just want to welcome everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. This week is going to be very busy coming up. Harold Davies and his two friends, Mark and Polly, are coming over to my state from Wisconsin, also from Arizona, if I am not mistaken. And we're going to be touring the area, photographing. Um, I wanted to do a bit of an interview on video with the three of us, actually, the four of us. I'm including myself in that. And then I would be posting that as a edited version, of course. Um, we're going to be traveling the sites in the area here in DC, as well as my neighborhood. And then we're heading up to Pennsylvania, to Gettysburg, which is a photographer's paradise. And hopefully, if we can squeeze in a visit to Harper's Ferry, we'll do that again as well. And then I want them to meet my family. So we'll head back down from way up there and west down to Albany, Maryland, meet Judy, Jeremy, and Nathan, and of course, Nathan's father, Brian. And hopefully that will be a wonderful end to your journey here. Uh, Again, I'm just so looking forward to this. It's just no words can really do it justice. I'm so glad you guys decided to head our way. I have some local friends here that are into this. Richard Bender, obviously here. He's about 45 minutes west of me. In case there's no traffic, it's a bit of a trip, but we're going to be going out to lunch, and he's going to teach me how to do that HDR stuff on my Nikon. I thought I had a Nikon 300, but it's not. It's a D3300, and my D70 uses those big old cards, Remember those big carts? And I don't know if I even have any. So I know that Richard was hoping that I would bring that along, but unfortunately, I would have to search or buy some, order some on Amazon, and then proceed with that. I think I may have already done that. I don't even remember because I thought Nathan wanted to use the big heavy camera, but he decided on the D90, which is a little bit lighter. All right, let me go ahead and begin here. Nigel Waters was here quite early, 7:43 a.m. I know that Richard was on last night, and he told me that he had, no, not Richard. I'm sorry, Rick Johnson, and he sent me a finished copy of the instructions of how to replace pads in the, I think, the G620, and also another printer. He's got the materials that you need to buy so that you don't end up tossing away those plastic wasting cartridges. They can be reset. Your investment for a resetter will pay by itself, okay? And you're not throwing away, needlessly throwing away plastic full of black gunky pads. Um, I even washed those pads out. But anyway, there's a certain order they're supposed to be reinserted into the cartridges. So he sent me the instructions, and then I'm going to do something separately. Not today, but later on this week, I'll do a video where I will go over all the steps and actually show you the materials that I am referring to that he sells on his eBay site. Link is on my app. And by the way, the app has been updated to the most recent links. And I'm waiting for Matt McNamara to let me know when the updated version of precisioncolors.com will be out. Hopefully, I will not. I'm saying, hopefully, they will not change the name of the URL. In other words, so I can just remain using www.precisioncolors.com, and that will take you to the new site, which should be a more modern type user interface. Um, Hope that helps customers from that point onward as well. So, welcome back, Nigel. Captain Dauncey is here. This is my friend from Richmond, Pro 100 with all the trimmings. He's got a Sony A17 65 Coney Omega Rapid 2.25, 2 3/4 film camera. I remember using, I have, and I gotta find it because it is a lovely camera. It's a Century Graflex, and it's basically a mini version of the big 4x5 one, and it has a film um, back. You can put 120 film or 220 film, and yeah, it's got templates, all sorts of goodies, and a Schneider lens on it. It's really nice. Um, Kind of tempts me to go out and shoot some film again. Fred Elias from Michigan is here. Warren, Michigan. Elias, Warren, Michigan, not going to be available today at all. The goodies print person, what? Wait a minute. Fred Elias, Warren, Michigan. Fred Elias, Warren, Michigan, not going to be available today at all. Today, all the goodies print person. Okay. That was a little strange. I think you're gonna. Chad is acting a little funny, not doing exactly what I want. I thought so because that was a little bit funny. You're right. Consider me there, even if I'm not. Well, you're here. Okay, you are here. Richard Bender, Hagerstown, Maryland, PP 190. Photo Nikon 780, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Canon Pro 1100, Epson XP 15000, EcoTank 8550, QMH Ultimate, Print Prism 190, Photoshop, Lightroom DxO. He's got all sorts of stuff. OEM inks and papers plus Red River Ilford. Canson Photo Speed, Staples, you name it. So Harold Davies is here. La Crosse, Wisconsin, Pro 1100, 8550. PCSE, QMH, PP, and rainy day here. It was sprinkling today. I went out and it was like, what do I feel in my arms? A little, a tiny bit. It just stopped. So I'm printing some photos from Mark's home in the Twin Cities before I travel there this week. So you're going to go there first and then come together here. Wow, that's a lot of travel. Wow. All right. HC 7984 from the Netherlands. Great, chilly, drizzly weather. Everyone's having that drizzly weather today. Epson EcoTank 8550, Print Prism, and well, etc., etc. All right. Oh, Richard Bender, make that 125, not 45. Oh, what was that about? Let me see. Huh. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Richard? 125, not 40. Okay, anyway. Is that the time you came on? I forgot. Anyway. Sir Mighty Mouse is here. CF Compact Flash. I can send you a couple. What is I see. Yeah. Gotcha. So yeah, I think I already bought some. Let me look afterwards and I'll let you know. I think I already bought some. It's just me, you know how. Yeah. So the G620 has a interesting flat looking. It reminds me of the Epson. What was that? Ooh, I love that printer. It was an all-in-one printer, Artisan something or other, way back, and it had a nice flat looking. Just unscrew a couple of little things, slide it in, off it goes, and then put the new one on. And that was like really awesome because at that point we really needed to stop dealing with stupid internal pads for waste ink, which required you to send the printer in to a repair shop and cost you, in the case of that printer, as much as the printer. So MPM Photo, Nick Marmolejo, Deer Valley, Arizona, Epson Stylus 3800, Pisography Inks, Epson XP 15000 chipless, PCSC, Ink, and QMH Ultimate Lifetime, all-in-one, Photo Romax, and Sony Alpha 6000. Apology for the late sign in, busy and kitchen duty to make snash. You mean smashed potato salad for later dining today? Sounds good to me. Phoenix is in usual desert high temperatures. Yeah, MPM Florida says. Yeah, Arizona. That's where these folks are coming from. It's going to be right now, like today and tomorrow, and the rest of the week until the day you arrive. It's going to be like in the mid 80s, almost 90 something. And then on that Thursday you arrive, it's going to be cool again. So it'll be good weather for going out. I'm hoping that, as I said, I think a couple weeks ago, Nathan's school, he's an 8th grader now. He's going to graduate on the 28th of this month. He's having a field day, and I have never missed a field day. So, of course, the day that you guys are planning on going to the Smithsonian, I have to go to the field day. I have to. So I will spend some time with the kids, and then hopefully, I believe he is off at noon. And if he feels like it, we can come down and meet you guys. I'll take the metro directly to the Smithsonian and meet you guys there, and then we'll spend the rest of the afternoon together. But yeah, hopefully he'll feel good. If not, then I'll just take the metro by myself. Right now, you don't even need a metro card. My son just told me that a credit card with a CR chip on it, you can just use your credit card and scan your way in. So that's awesome. I don't like dealing with the stupid metro cards. Anyway, Edwin 8694 says, greetings from the West Coast, experimenting with prints using Print Prism on a 3850 Resulting prints are acceptable if you don't compare it to a real photo printer. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. EcoTank 3850. Which one is that one? I'm used to only the 8000 series, 80 the 8500 and the 8550 series. Yeah, larger. 1.25. Okay, 1 hour and 25 minutes away. Yeah, it is quite a ride. Um, all right, so that is everybody. Let me go ahead and remove that and load my Word file here. Now, the reason I was a little panicky is I installed Print Prism yesterday, and today I went to print the target, and the folder where all of the previous scans and the original target file that I copied and pasted there was empty. And it's like, what the heck happened? I couldn't figure out what the heck happened. And yeah, I had to go back to my regular, because I'm using the cloud for my regular photo folder. Let me fix this a minute here. I'm going to put it over there on that side. And it was like empty, and I was freaking out. So I don't know what happened to all the previous scans. Has any of you experienced something crazy like that? Let me look at my trash. No, my trash can is empty. So I don't have that any idea what happened to those scans that I had done. Let me just take a peek at the folder again in hope that they somehow, magically reappear. But I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, let me take a look here. I have Print Prism and scans from 35 millimeters. That's not it. So yeah, now I can't even find my folder. What is going on? Anyway, let me just manually look for it. I had here's the Print Prism scans. Yeah. And all it is just the file that I just copied over. Anyway, so apparently somehow, some way, all the scans that I had already done have disappeared, including the original file. But nevertheless, I went ahead and got it from my regular photo picture folder and printed this. So I am going to be testing Staples Photo Plus gloss, and it's really, really nice. Look at the gloss in this stuff. And I put it on my heated heat press here to dry it quicker, because I just printed this today. And we'll be scanning this, and then I got another sheet over there, and I want to go through what Mike sent to me as far as what he was improving on when it came to version 190. Okay, With respect to 190, I added this note, but only on my forum. So you got to go to like qimage.com and then go to the forum. So he basically just copy and pasted it to me. This update is considered a minor improvement to profile quality because it only improves out of gamut colors over the previous 2026 180 version. In gamut colors, most colors in photos are unchanged. As a result, this update doesn't really fall in the category of a rebuild of all my profiles. So you don't have to rebuild all your profiles. It's only affecting images that have maybe was you doing it and me over maybe saturating an image, and you just kind of brought those reds and oranges and purples a little bit beyond the gamut um, of your printers or any printer really. Um, as a result, this update doesn't fall in the category of rebuild all my profiles, but if you are one who likes to look at brighter color gradients and test patches in printer test images, this version will improve those by minimizing hue shifting to the extent possible, like blues turning purples, greens turning yellowish, etc. All right, so of course, I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway because, that's just me. But maybe I shouldn't because he might just come up with version 200. You see here? I don't see him here. What I like about what they did in StreamYard, if I looked at a chat, I comment from you guys, it now grays it out. So it looks like all of them have been looked at. Everything that was posted, I have already looked at. So that is good. That keeps me in good shape because then I know I didn't ignore someone. By the way, this is not beer. This is just my favorite drink since I was a baby in my beautiful island. All right. So what's happening then? Out of gamut, right? That's what we're talking about. So I would suggest to you guys, um, QImage has an out of gamut way to check your images, out of gamut warning, but it just does not, it doesn't come close to Photoshop. So I'm just going to go ahead and maybe open up Photoshop here. Let me see if I can do it and not run out of RAM or something. So Photoshop 2026, let it load. I'm going to look in my regular big photo drive and load a few images, and then we'll go ahead and do a gamut warning. So let's just say, let me load maybe a raw image, and I will edit it in front of you guys. So I'm going to go open. You're not going to see this just yet, but I'm just going to search my photos folder, and I know I have some raw images here somewhere, obviously. Let me see. Let's go back to, a few years ago. A lot of these are not raw, they're just JPEGs. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, this will work. These are not fantastic images, but it'll work. All right, so let me just choose one of them. I can't very well tell what it is that I have shot. I think this was at that fort in Baltimore. I mean, yeah. I'll do this one here. And so I will pop this over to the other screen once it loads. Maybe. I should have done it before that. Hang on a second. Let me put Photoshop over there. And we'll do this again. Okay, so I'm just going to open up and we'll do this one of the flag. I cannot, it's opening the raw converter. Unfortunately, it's not moving to the other screen. I'm so sorry. But basically you go in there and you adjust just like you would in Lightroom. Why can't I make this go over to the other screen? Nope, it's not letting me do it. Darn it. All right, so what the heck? I'm just going to go ahead and make some quick adjustments here. I mean, you could do a lot. Those of you who use this know what I'm talking about. So let me increase the exposure a wee bit. You get to see a histogram. So I'm just going to do very basic adjustment here. All right. Now I should have opened it instead of just saying okay. Let me do that one more time, folks. Bear with me. Oh. Open, and let me get that one. Yep. And this time I'm going to just say open. Okay, good. All right. So it should open this shot. Again, it's just a shot. This was a gigantic mast. My wife and a few other people helped lower it. That's the big flag, and they had to raise the storm flag simply because it was just the wind was so strong that day. So let me go ahead and just, I get too many pop-ups here from all my other apps. So let's just say this is what I want to print. So I want to make sure that none of those colors are out of gamut. So you just simply go to view and gamut warning. And as you can see, nothing really happened. Whoa, right here, I see some grays. So these areas that should have been red turn gray. That means those are beyond. So this red right here is probably, that particular hue is probably at the very limit. And then the adjacent shades went a little bit beyond. Okay. So, I mean, you could do this. You could go to hue and saturation and maybe decrease it a little bit. And you see how it's bringing them back. So at that point, all the colors are in gamut. Right here, they were not. And I'm looking at the blues, and I'm not really seeing much of a decrease in saturation. So I may want to bring it down to like that level there. And that's it. Now all my colors are in gamut. There's no gray anywhere. All right. So once I prepare this profile, I'll go back and show you a little bit about soft proofing. I know a lot of you guys already know this, but there may be a handful that, have never done it, have heard about it, and, basically wondering what it's all about. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this for the time being. I'm not going to save it. We'll go ahead and print one of my other little bit more challenging images and just see what happens. Now, the paper that I'm using is Staples. Now, I need to look to see if Precision Colors made a profile, because I'm using the Pro 200, the one Rick Johnson sent me. By the way, Rick, I loaded the cartridges again with ink. And as you can see, where did I put it? This turned out beautiful. The cartridges are flowing perfectly. So that's, for anyone who's wondering about how good these converted cartridges are from Rick, trust me. Yeah, they're good. So is Q Image Ultimate Copilot AI from Microsoft AI application? I'm not sure. It says that it's using AI for this and that, but I would have to ask Mike Cheney himself. I really like the Staples Ultra Premium Photos Paper Satin. Yeah, I'm going to go. We have two Staples here. I'm going to go probably maybe next week after everything calms down a little bit and pick up some papers from there. I need to renew my batch because my batch is old, very old. So I will be checking to see what is it that they have in-house. Otherwise, I just get it from Amazon. They have it available as well. Okay. So here we are. So I went ahead and put the name that I want to identify that paper with. And that's it. So the output file will go to my desktop Print Prism folder. Let me see. And look at that. It shows all these in there. Why? I mean, I swear I just looked at it. Let me make sure that let me see this. Let me see this. Yeah, OneDrive, desktop, Print Prism. All right. Weird. I'm going to have to check that out afterwards. My wife has to go to a meeting at like in half an hour or so. Maybe I will hear her leaving. All right. So basically, if this is the first time you use Print Prism, you're going to choose your scanner. See that? So you're going to choose your 8550 series. Not the one by not the one with what you call it that's running on Wi-Fi. It's got to be USB. So let me see if that'll work. I shouldn't have done that. And then that's it. Let's go ahead and create the scan. And it's saying, see, I should have left it alone. Yeah. So let's see if that'll work. No. See, I'm screwing up already. USB connection. It used to be listed there. These are not USB. Oh gosh, what did I do? I'm going to close this and start again. And start again. See that? Everything happens, everything bad happens when you're live. Let me make sure that it is indeed connected via USB. I should have left that alone. See, I have two other choices here. Nope. I want to be able to use raw mode. Why did I do that? I had to do that, right? And now I'm having an issue. I could do it manually, but I don't want to do it manually. Here we go. I finally got the right one. We are scanning. The light is flashing. Ah, yeah. See, it comes up as the USB version and then two Wi-Fi versions. So I was clicking on the wrong one. That was just me. Me being me. So this is going to be the very first one I do with 190. So yeah, you could do that too. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You are correct. Set it to the printer and the paper profile, basically. So you're soft proofing at the same time you can do your gamut warning. But I'm just like, if I got, say, 15 different printers, right? I want to make sure that just by itself under, say, Adobe RGB working space, I want to make sure that my photos are just not drastically out of gamut. And then I'm going to go into soft proofing, pick the profile for the paper that I'm going to be printing on. And then if I have to make adjustments, you can actually make adjustments while you are soft proofing, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. It lets you adjust because you're kind of seeing what it's going to look like on paper. So at that point, you can make adjustments. Say if it starts looking a little bit too dull, maybe your ICC profile is not really that fantastic. Usually, what I end up with is when I look at my before and after with soft proofing on, soft proofing off, I see very little change. So that's the goal. You want to be able to get, while you're soft proofing, as close as what you were seeing just raw from your screen. If you can pull that off, then yeah, you are set. But yes, you're correct. I've been getting such good results. I don't even bother doing this anymore. Going through all of that, work, um, soft proofing and checking and editing while I am in soft proofing mode and gamut one. Yeah, I don't even do that anymore because I'm seeing practically what my screen is displaying to me on many different kinds of papers. So it's really amazing, especially now having Print Prism available. Moab Slick Rock Metallic Pearl Finish. Now that's fancy. Yes. Moab is good, good, good paper. Canson was out of stock, took Fred Elias' word, tried metallic, and was told that Moab Slick Rock was the best. Uses very little chrome optimizer. The paper is great. Wow. Yeah, too many papers out there. I can't even keep up. I'm basically printing on just common stuff this day and age. Commonly available stock. All right, so it is done. Remember when we used to have to like do a lot of manual checks and stuff? That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Everything is centered. So as you can see, before I could even check, it's already making the profile, preparing the profile. So I think I can pretty much start searching for a proper image. Something that's going to possibly be a little bit demanding color-wise. Why not, right? Why not? And I want to do something more photographic rather than AI type imaging, something with natural colors. So let's just scroll down and see what we can find. I have other folders, of course, but these are just a bunch of random images that I have collected. Let's see if we can find something worthwhile here. This is a neat one. It allows you to check all sorts of different colors. So this one's really a little bit limited as far as the color palette. There you go. I like this one here. I'm going to open up the PSD one. And so we're going to wait for that profile to finish loading. Someone also had an issue where the profile did not get stored in the correct location. And what that means is in Windows, it's basically hidden. So you have to go to Systems 32, then spool, then drivers, then you know the drill right here. So and in there someplace will be the profile. This one here, staples plus glossy. So is that done processing? Yes, I believe it is. So let's see if I could find it. So we're going to be doing this on the 200 plus glossy 2. Of course, we're going to use a profile this time. And normally what I do with a freshly created profile is just simply click on the date, and you should be able to find it right there. And there it is. So relative colorimetric default, most accurate for in-gamut colors, and the black point compensation activated. So now we can just go ahead, and I like to add a little bit of a border, and I have auto zoom on, or fill, or crop, and let's see. This one it's a good one for this type of color here. Sometimes printers have a hard time with this area here, this kind of blue going into the purple zone, and that's more closer to optical blue. Optical blue is kind of a purplish looking blue. What we call blue is usually cyan. Skies are cyan. They're not really blue. So let's see what else we got here. That looks kind of neat. See, this will be a very easy image to print because I don't think there's anything out of gamut in this image. It's pretty bland as far as images go. This one here has quite a bit of color. Yeah, why not? Let me see if I can sharpen it a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of deep focus sharpening here. See what we get. We're going to do the quickie auto exposure. We're 0.5 above black and 0.5 below white, immediately applied. I should have left that on. So normally you can choose, let's say, a radius of 1. So now we're going to look at this. We're looking at this at 1x, in other words, real size. So we'll go ahead and click on this one, and then let's try 150 and see what happens here. You'll visually immediately see the result. Not much difference. 200, and now we're getting a bit more sharpness here. This image is easy to sharpen. Let me try radius of 2. Here we go. Look at that. You can immediately see the change. So, okay, everything is fine. I love the color, and I could load that in Photoshop and just do a quick gamma warning, but we'll just go ahead and print it. Again, remember that, the Pro 200 was an improvement over the 100. It literally was better if you were using OEM, because the original OEM inks for the Pro 200 didn't quite come up to par for what Canon initially wanted. They realized that and came up with a very similar, although also mechanically improved printer, but with much better inks. Unfortunately for them, Precision Colors created a signature edition, the 40, what is it, PC 42 SE, or SE 42, whatever it was. And yeah, it was just clearly better. It actually performed as intended. And so the results that I saw doing the back-to-back testing immediately showed me, oh my gosh, what did Mike do here? Is this an exaggeration, or is this what it should be? So I had to go back to the screen and do very careful analysis of the displayed image. And this was, of course, the standard image and stuff of my own that I did back to back with OEM cartridges, and then with Precision Colors SC inks filled cartridges. Yeah, and the difference was there. You could see it. The standard image strawberries look red instead of slightly orange. You had to jump from, like, you couldn't reproduce a true red. See the chair? Wait a minute. There you go. Everything is flipped. That's red. and you couldn't reproduce that. It would look a little bit orange or immediately jump over to a slightly magenta red. So you just couldn't nail down that true red. And Precision Colors did it. And so it became PC's bestseller as far as inks go. Why should it defaults to CMYK? No, it should not. I don't understand why that would happen. CMYK is for basically for if you're going to be printing on a four color press. Kevin Bruniarski is here. Thank you for coming on this afternoon. Let's see what's happening. Wow, it's amazing how quickly that Pro 200 prints. Almost out. I'm coming right back. Don't go away. All right. I just remember what I used to do. I used to put this weird double, and I just saw it on my image. This weird double stroke. It was white and then black, and I didn't quite remove it. But look at those. Look at that red. This is ridiculous. So I am seeing like exactly what I see there. In fact, yeah. Let me see if I. Oh, this way. Holy cow! It is crazy. The brilliance of those reds is just. My camera's going to distort it a little bit, and I can immediately see it. When I look at it, it's just crazy. The green, gosh, it's like neon. Wow, I didn't realize how good those uh, PC 65 SC. Wow, holy cow! One more look. Let me put another sheet of paper. Let's print one more. Something a little bit. In fact, let me do a monochrome. I want to see what that looks like. This is a luster. Here we go. Let me pop a couple of sheets. And then we'll do a profile for the luster version. Well, I am changing my mind as to if I only had to buy, say, two printers, 17-inch printer and a 13-inch printer, the 200, and refill with precision color inks, because otherwise you can't afford OEM inks. It's just ridiculous. Click soft proof I button under the live. Oh, and check GMT. Thank you, Mike. As always. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I got to move stuff out of my way here. Is it the little eyeball right there? I think it is. The little eyeball, yeah. And then check. Okay. All right. That's like a lot more subdued than what I actually got on paper. I'll show you. Let me see if I can get. Yeah, this literally looks like the unsoftproof version. Okay. My monitor is able to reproduce those reds that brilliant. Um, let me move this over here. Yeah, I always thought that soft proofing tended to sort of, yeah, this looks nearly a match. I just undid soft proofing. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it on my monitor here, and it's a match. Holy crap! It is a match. Of course, this is my good monitor, and it is perfectly calibrated. That's a match. Wow. So I don't have to do soft proofing. Is that what I'm saying? If I make a print prism profile, holy crap. Mm-mm-mm. Let me go ahead and we have the settings ready to go. I'm going to do something a little bit weird. I'm going to make some, how many can I get? I can get three little, let me see. Let me see if I can do, I want to be able to fit 4. There we go. And I'm going to crop the hell out of them. I don't care. Maybe not. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this. And then I love this picture. My little mermaid friend here. That's a young lady I work with who wanted to model. And I said, well, let's do it. Okay, there we go. And my favorite warrior princess here. Let's see what happens if I crop. I can maybe remove that stupid little border. Nah, not happening. Okay, so that's it. We'll just go ahead and print those. And we'll do another one and see how that works out. I want to check to see how neutral those 2 prints come out. Those 2, the ones on top here. This will be the test. I've always said if you got a good neutral, well, convert it to black and white, but with 3 channels, and then you print that using an ICC profile, normally people will use black and white mode and adjust the tonality this way or that way. But if you can do that, if you can pull that off with an ICC profile and get perfect neutrality, linear neutrality from black to white, in other words, I don't want to see tonal changes. I don't want to see a duotone. A duotone is something I would do on purpose. Bluish shadows and warm highlights on a black and white. You see what I mean? That would be a duotone. I don't want to see that. I want to see perfect neutrality. And then good result here, good result here. That's all I care about. If I can get the neutrality here, then I can be pretty well guaranteed that I'm going to get a correct rendition of these 2 color images here. And this is more like what you would normally find. Now, let me remove, let's not do that yet. Let me wait for the print to emerge. I have a new image from Richard Bender that I need to find. He took a picture of Main Street somewhere, CR, it says. And he then removed power poles and wires and added I think it was a Model T. The road still looks very modern looking, but nevertheless, I'll print it anyway, and we'll see what that looks like. And we'll do that full sheet, okay? So did we start to print? Yeah, this is what it looks like, folks, when you disable your chips, okay? See that? That's the Pro 200 with all 12 chips disabled, not 12, all 8 chips disabled. The Pro 1000 has all 12 of them disabled. Now I was going to talk about what would I buy? Well, I would buy a Pro 200 and of course convert it for refilling. That's what Rick Johnson does. He sells you the materials you need for successfully refilling a set of Pro 200 cartridges or Pro 100 cartridges. So you just follow the instructions. They're very simple. I've already posted a video a couple of days ago showing exactly how to do that. And simply begin to print amazing results, produce amazing results. And I think when I was refilling these the other day, a couple of the cartridges I had gone empty on the liquid side. It took like 7 ml of ink to refill that liquid chamber. And then I waited for it to settle. And apparently in those two cases, the sponge was saturated enough that not much actually was lost from the liquid chamber. So that would have cost me maybe 80 cents per refill compared to $23 per cartridge. That's what it costs. And I'm getting absolutely glorious results. So, what if I want 17-inch by something? Well, the 1100, of course. The 1100, 12 color channels, they can all be disabled. You can refill those cartridges. Where's my cartridge here? All you got to do, see that plug? Oh, by the way, see that ink on my hand? Last night. See that plug? 5/32 of an inch hole, very carefully drilled. The chips come out with the drill. You don't have to worry about them going in. And if you're worried, start with empties and rinse them if you want to. You can do that. Use a syringe with a big needle and just suck out the ink. Um, Plastic floats, so it's not gonna go into your port. Besides, you never let it go empty. You're gonna be topping off regularly. So this one is empty. This weighs 32 grams. So I just add 80 ml. That gives me up to 112. That way I know I'm full. Pop that into the printer. The chip will be at whatever level it was, and it will continue to do so. Um, if it was empty to begin with, you'll get an error. You just press the power button. I mean, the another power button, the second button below the power button. Wait 5 seconds, you'll see processing, and that way it will then become disabled. Um, let's continue on here. Oh, okay. I should have done that. Sorry. Let's do that with these. It's going to simulate. And I bet you that's done printing already. That Pro 200 is very fast, very quick. Let me go ahead and get that print. It's creating. I have 4 images. That's why it's taking so long. But this is amazing. Let that finish loading. I'll come to me a second here. Beautiful. My camera's imparting a little bit of a warm look, but this looks absolutely neutral. Yeah. Wow. Look at that girl. Look at that hair. And I wouldn't want to mess with her. You see the size of that? Yeah. So, wow. Pro 200. That's it. That's all you need. If you're not going to do anything bigger than 13 by something, you can actually print oversized with it. Okay, here we are. So here, soft proofing. Now, where is that? What was it you said? The GMT. Where is it? Help. Where's GMT? Mike? Is GMT someplace else? Or is it in this window that pops up? Oh, oh, sorry. Yeah, of course I did a mistake. Yeah, dummy. Here we go. Okay. So it's only going to do the one that was active, right? Yeah. So, okay, it's doing all of them. Great. GMT right there. Look at that. Quite a lot of them were out of gamut for that particular. So it's taking into account the ICC profile. Is that what you're saying? So because I'm using that particular profile, I mean, right there. Well, you know what? Certainly doesn't look like it. It looks pretty intense, and it matches what I was seeing under normal viewing conditions without softproofing or anything of the sort. So no, I am more than satisfied. Let me. How can I show you guys this? There's no way that I can bring this over and simultaneously show you this screen. I'm looking at it under my calibrated screen. I'm looking at the red head. Yeah, that's a match. I don't see any kind of hue change, color change. Um, the density that I see there, I see here. And again, like I said, I don't do this type of testing. I know, and I thank you for making it available. I just don't do it. I'm getting such good matches that it's almost a waste of time for me to be constantly checking. This is amazing. Amazing, Mike. That's all I got to say. So remove all. I'm just going to do, I like to do it this way. I know it's wrong. I like to do it this way, though. All right, let me look for something. I love her. Something like this. So we're going to check. This is not red. This is magenta. So we're going to see this area right here. And when I look at it on my screen here, while I am looking at it also on my uncalibrated, crappy $70 monitor here, I see a difference here. It should have been a little bit red, on the red zone almost. And this is on the magenta side. So let's see how this prints. Let me see if what happens if I here we go. We'll use this version, the uncropped one. And then we'll go ahead and create. And I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to leave everything as is. So we will do this paper next. That's the glossy. I only have a few sheets of this, so I cannot get too much done here. Oh, this is also glossy. Oh, it's got a different name actually, but it's just glossy. This is Photo Supreme High Gloss, and this says luster, but it is not. It's actually glossy. Trying to fool me here. I'm going to do a matte one. So I'll use their matte paper, the paper that I use to print Drama Club cast pictures for sale. By the way, they sold out completely. I need to make more. And I think I may have shown you guys these. I have the copies upstairs, the two original ones. This stuff right here is actually really, really good. This is the Photo Supreme Matte. So did I already make one of these? Possibly. I don't quite remember if I did or not. Let me see if there's an actual. I need to look at my folder here. So, yes, I do have a photo matte with 190. Good. And I think I just did it, so there it is. I want to test. Sorry about that. I left the screen. I want to test whether I can print this absolutely neutral. Yeah, let's see how that comes out. That'll be a good test. So, Mike, I made this profile the other night as soon as I installed 190. I think my wife has left, so it's very quiet upstairs. I unfortunately going to have to get off at 2 o'clock because hopefully she took the key, and if she did not, then I have to be upstairs to make sure I can get a letter in. Okay, I got the printable side ready. Here's the one that yep, those colors are indeed there. Let me load this back up. Yeah. So the red here is clearly visible the way that I see it here, like so. It looks weird. It's almost like a neon. The image shows that as well. There you go. Let me slide that over so I can better compare it. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. That I'm sure has a ton of out of gamut colors. I am quite sure. I bet you those are ridiculous. Let's just take a look at it. So that's what, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. A little bit of that. And GMT. Oh, heck yeah. Look at that. You see that? Impossible to print something like that. So what I got is just amazingly close, even though, as you can see, what is about 75% autogamic, except for these little areas here. Yeah, unbelievable. In, out, in, out. So, yeah. What you need to do is make sure when you're editing, um, edit. You can do it in Photoshop. Again, make sure that you're looking at through soft proofing. Uh, and then when you bring it into Key Image, you can double check it again. And as you can see, yeah, it is out of gamut. So, of course, a black and white should not have any issues. Let's see. Yeah, it just looks a little bit gray. Yeah, it's saying that the blacks cannot be reproduced, but that's not true. I definitely can. All right, so let's go ahead and change this. We're going to use, I believe I used, what was it? Which matte paper did I use? Matte photo paper. That's what it was. And so then here's the matte profile. Oh, it remembers that I used a different size before. Okay, fine. Yeah, I know I'm doing things wrong. Uh, Let me throw that little border back on there, like so. I think that looks good. She's nice and contrasty, has a very strong facial features. Um, I got this from the Library of Congress site, and let's see what we get. Let me double check again. 200 matte letter size. We don't want to be handling the profiling to be handled by the driver. We want to use this one here and print, and we'll see. Normally, of course, think about it, dye ink printer, just like the 8550. If the 8550 didn't have matte black ink, you wouldn't get good results on matte paper. But as you well know, we get very good results. Um, yeah, Mike, someone asked this earlier. Hold on, let me. Yeah, so we took care of that. Yes, it uses the profile you currently have set. Okay, great. So it's utilizing that profile. In other words, looking through the profiles, magic window, magic mirror, and giving you what the profile will do to that image as you print it on paper. Mike asked Jose earlier about Copilot AI Ultimate in Ultimate as to if it is on Microsoft Windows AI. No, AI Copilot in QImage is not the same thing, and it has nothing to do with Windows Copilot. The QImage AI Copilot came first, by the way. Oh, yeah, I think you were doing this long before I even heard of Copilot. I think it's printing. Yep. See that? No inks. Oh, wait a minute. What did I just do? Okay, it's going. I thought it had already been printing. It was loading. Sorry. I hear it. So anyway, here is the scan that we just did. A couple of days ago, I told this to Mike. Somebody wrote to me telling me that they were no longer seeing the profile that was created being saved in the correct folder. And Mike said, just like I did earlier, that they must have messed around with the location for the profile. So they may have changed the address, if you will. So that's may have been the case. Once you fix that, just like with anything, it'll go to the correct folder automatically. And he said you can just delete it and start all over again. And it would just sort of reset itself. I mean, it knows it's operating under Windows, so it knows where Windows profiles should be sent to. One question, I'm sure you're getting these as well, Mike. Apple version. Is that being worked on? Is it a secret? Can you divulge it? Everybody wants to know. Pete says, Jose, you were right. Metallic paper is the way to go. The pearl is like the Red River glossy and matte combined. Oh, we'll throw you. Oh, okay. I will resend my address to you. You will love it. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you. A2 as well, although not cheap, 130. So yeah, A2 would be for the Pro 1000. Yeah, that would work really well. If no one has, I don't think anybody answered yet. Yeah, me neither. And I'm not even one of those people who thinks everybody is a conspirator. But I just don't have any reason to switch over to 11. If I build a new computer, it's going to be Windows 10. I don't care if it's not being supported any longer. Sorry. Paper has run out. Yeah. Thought I put paper in there. Yeah, I have paper. So the colors are strong. I'm looking at the background very carefully here because I am seeing incredible levels of detail right here. That should be blocked off. Normally, that would have been completely blocked off. I'm seeing hair here and here. Every little wrinkle. Beautiful lady. Obviously, Eastern European, I believe she was. Maybe during World War II. Anyway, wow. We got one more to do with that paper. Let me see what else we could possibly print. Oh, that's why, because I loaded the image twice, idiot. That's just me. It's going to take a while. Yeah, I figure. Um, but at least I tell people that you're working on it and they think it's going to be an overnight thing. Of course not. It takes forever to do that. So, but at least now we know, so people can relax and ooh, how about this one here? One of these should be okay. This is a good one. It's got reds, it's got cyans and yellows. This is pretty striking right there. We'll do this one here. And we, of course, will not crop it. I hate the stupid border I used to do on it. Let me see if this one has it. No, it does not. Here we go. So I think that'll work. We'll go ahead and check to see what it looks like. I don't need to change anything. We'll leave it as is. Printed full frame. I have to double check again, make sure that it is on matte and print. So, if you only had one printer, at Pro 200, for instance, it becomes kind of boring. If you're almost going to be 77 years old with a brain that's sort of getting fried every day a little bit more, yeah, you may skip a couple of steps you should have been more careful with. But I could save this. I could save if all I'm going to do is print on Staples Supreme Matte, whatever it's called. I can save that setting and just recall it. Or if that is all I'm doing, one printer, and I have 1,000 sheets of that paper, all I'm going to be doing is printing on that paper. The printer, the QImage remembers it. QImage remembers what I was working on. If I switch to a different printer right now, it's going to remember what size paper I was using on that printer the last time I used it, the type of paper, and whatever profile I was using. It's going to remember that. So I guarantee you things will get a little boring because you'll be not having to remember what did I use to print that with? What settings did I use? No, it'll be the same settings every time. So that is one great thing about it. So, Mike, I know you've been busy as hell on Print Prism. Is there anything that you need to do with Ultimate? I I, I can't even come up with any kind of addition to it. Um, Maybe you can fill us in here. What would be again? What would be required to bring QMH Ultimate to today's level standards, whatever? Um, I don't think there's anything you need to really add. And what's going to happen? What are you going to do to? Because this will be like the finale, I guess. Level 200. What would that have to include? What could you possibly do to name it 2026.200? That people are asking me that. I know they should be asking you, not me. I'm not the programmer. I'm the poor guy that attempts to use it and sound like he knows what he's doing in front of people. I mean, what could you possibly add? What is left? Oh, I am. Oh, stupid me. Then I should update that. Gosh. Let me see. Is there an update button here? It's been so long. Now I'll just go to QImage and download it. So I mean, would I be showing improvements? So raw photo developer was updated, the color management engine, etc., already working on print percent. I thought so. And you're going to tell me secretly before anyone else, and then I could do like as I am waiting for Nathan at school. He only has 2 weeks of school anyway. I could do a little video from my car telling the world about version 200 that you must get as soon as it comes out. People who haven't bought Print Prism yet, well, I don't know what you're waiting for. And I don't mean to be pushy or just act like I'm doing it in front of Mike. No. You know, oh my God, look at the dust on my i1 Pro 2. I should dust that a little bit more often. No, I will use that to calibrate my monitor probably this afternoon. But yeah, it's collecting dust right there. It's just under the hood stuff in QImage. Nothing you can see visually. Okay. Oh, good. All right. There you go. Yeah, that's a good one. Just let me know. That'll give me. I got one. Let's see. What's today? We got 2 more weeks of school, and while I'm waiting there, I usually get there like 15 minutes before his release, just so I can get a handicap parking spot behind the church. So, and from that point, I can just go ahead and tell the world about 200. Oh my gosh. All right. Did we print this already? Let me see. My goodness. I Yeah, I can't complain. My goodness. Let me see if I can do this justice. Here we go. Let me make it the same size. There you go. Of course, realize my camera doesn't have the gamut for this right here. I have full detail there. All the different nuances of that red boat during low tide. Yeah. All right. Well, again, and I'm going to downgrade myself here. If this dude can do this, imagine what you guys could do. There's a lot of people out there a lot better than me. Okay. So imagine what you guys can do. And all you need is one of those many printers with scanners that he has calibrated for Print Prism use. So you can have, like many of you already have. And let me go back to, like, if I had the opportunity to, let's be real generous here, to buy 3 printers. You're a photographer, you're really seriously into this. Get the 8550, obviously. I'm printing stuff like this, 8550. In fact, let's do, oh gosh, what are we waiting for? Let's do, and I'm just gonna make a 5x7. And I am going to use, and I think this might be, hang on a second. So I am going to switch over to the 8550. No, 8550, 5x7. And I think this might be your profile, Mike. This is for Canon paper and the 8550. I just want to show you guys what you can do. We'll compare it. It's not a fair comparison because this is matte and the other one is luster. But we'll compare to see if we get a color match. I've never done this before. I've never used that paper and then compare it to matte done in the 200. So who knows what we're going to get. But we'll let that load and print. We'll do a side-by-side comparison. But all I'm trying to say is that for general photography, I have done amazing. I did all the cast pictures that I felt proud enough to sell to the parents of these actors and actresses, as well as Nathan's school graduation pictures with the cap and gown photos. And I offered for any of the families of his friends, I would print them free pictures. Normally, what people do is they pay for the digital images, a lot of money too, and then they go ahead and do whatever they wish with them. But yeah, so 8550 Pro 1100 for the big prints. Yeah, that's it. Or if you're not going to be doing any kind of profiling, you're going to use other people's profiles. You want 13-inch and you want 17-inch. Okay, the Pro 200, yes, absolutely. And then modify for refilling with Precision Colors inks, the best in the business. Period. I can't think of any. Sorry, Epson. The 900, yeah, that has a roll adapter. So if you want long prints, definitely the Pro 900. 17 by God knows what. Okay, you can actually print very, very long prints. So there you go. There's really not that many choices. We have to pick stuff that we can use effectively, low cost. The 900, you have to use OEM. I'm sorry, but you got that roll adapter. Okay. Can you imagine the 1100 with a roll adapter? Wow. How about that, folks? Anywhere you're going to see detail changes or color changes will be that sky. And this is not, I'm not manipulating anything. Okay. You can see that. Let me get it so that the reflections are minimal. Look at that. And by the way, I think this profile is one of Mike's profiles. He created a bunch of profiles for the 8550. I downloaded the whole bunch and installed them. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and close this, but not quite system tray, because remember, folks, I'm still using the unclog utility for my Pro 1 and my Pro 1000 printer so that it prints something, that little set of lines every day on it. Let's see now. Wait a minute. Okay. Did you look at the support set of printers? Let me look at the actual website for Print Prism. Hang on one second. I'm going to go ahead and go full screen here. Are you telling me you don't have any of these printers? That's the list of printers. You have to have an Epson printer for you and a Canon printer also for you. These are all Canons. Canon, Epson. I think there's more Canon than there is Epson. All of those have scanners that are supported. Mike, while we have you here, these printers that have built-in scanners, you may have said something in the past. It had to do with whether the light source for the sensor reading of the scanner in these newer scanners was not incandescent, that it was an LED light source. And was that the reason for you to just moving to this family of scanners? There would be more stability during the months and years of use. Did that have anything to do with that? If you want to elaborate on that, please do so. I think I've been telling people that is the case. So something like my old V500, I think that's an incandescent light source, just like the spectrophotometers. They used originally an incandescent light source. Now the modern ones use LED light sources. Feel free to elaborate on that if you want to. I just don't want to give people the wrong information or the wrong reasons for you choosing a certain type of scanner, although there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of scanners listed there. Okay. When you get a Spectrum, you get software and hardware, and you end up paying $600 to $2,000. You can buy V39 scanner or a Canon LIDE lid 400 for just the Print Prism software, and still be at a total of 150. Yeah, if you have to go that route, by all means do so. If you do not have say you got a Pro 1000 only, well, yeah, I don't want you buying an 8500 just to have a scanner. Buy that scanner. Again, total of 150 will get you going, compared to what is it, $600 to $2,000. Mine was $1,500. Okay. Did Harold say something here? Yeah. Our group has started using Print Prism for all our fine art prints. Color is impressed. Color us impressed. Yes. Right. And they are doing some really fine work. And we'll be producing some of that next week. Excellent. That I will never use them. Print Prism does as well, if not better. This is Mikey talking of better in a fraction of the time. Yes, absolutely. Right, exactly. Exactly. And it is actually, people think it's a junk printer. No, it is not. It is not. And with a good profile, I'm telling you, it works. Yes, from you. Really? Hmm. No, so far I had a little bit of I have like a couple of lines were not printing. One cleaning cycle is all it took. And it happens occasionally. I think it's, maybe a bubble of air or something gets in there. Yeah, I've had, that's good. Only one in 3 years. Wow. By the way, in case you guys don't know, the reason I have an 8550 is because of that gentleman right there. Okay. So there you go. I made it public. Okay. Hope you don't mind. But yeah, it happened maybe twice, and it was just like a couple of little lines. One quick cleaning is all it took, and it was fixed. I've not taken my Spectro out of its case since Print Prism came out. Yeah, my Color Monkey's in the drawer right there, the cabinet behind me. I just put it there. Won't need you anymore. And the reason I still have this out is occasionally I will do my monitor, and that's really the only reason at this point. Print Prism, much easier to use and better than my Spectro, much less frustrating. Thanks, Mike, for a great job. Great job done. Mike, I'm going to ask you, have you heard anything? You know what I'm getting at. I took my last computer programming course in college, 1980, basic and Fortran. So I am out of my league in today's programming world, but we hope your efforts are recognized for its breakthrough. Yeah. Uh, Mike, I thought you were out of your mind when you told me what you were planning on doing, but I apologize. I was completely wrong. Who is this dummy to be able to make such a comment? But yeah, you proved yourself. I even did the paper towel with alcohol cleaning, clean the pads to see if it would help. You can't see the clogs, but if you print a nozzle check, it's usually one or two missing, black or gray. Yeah. Um, and they do not change position, right? Every time you do a nozzle check, it's always the same ones. I had that issue with the 3800, my big 3800. It's the same one. So I assume they are just damaged. What else could it be? Eventually they should change, if at all. But no, they're just either completely clogged with epoxy in the little nozzle. That's the only thing I can, say, because nothing helps. Nothing has helped. And it's the same. And when it was printing, right now the black switch valve is dead. When it was printing, it was printing perfectly. No visible hints of anything happening. Whoa, I have not been around because of illness, been watching from my bed. Also, you are my first super chat. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Peter. Oh man, you guys are too generous. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Now, what time is it? Okay, 10 minutes. I just want to, the reason is I want to make sure that I'm upstairs just in case. So I think we did. Yeah, we got everything done. All right. Everything got done, including printing on the 8550. Wow. Let me do one. I'm going to make one small print. Let me close Print Prism. I'm going to make one small print using QImage of Richard's transformation of a modern street scene in a historical part of Maryland, but to make it look old. Hang on. 4 more posts here. Let me get this done first. Is the SIS scanners that work well as spectrophotometers? I don't know what that means. What does SIS mean? Due to the way they pulse the LEDs, red, green, and then blue. That's one reason for the V500, V600, etc. are not supported, not compatible. Okay, although they are excellent scanners. Photonikon says, I had my 8550 since 2020, never had a clog. Exercise mine weekly. I have printed over 1,500 prints and filled inks once. Yeah, I am actually on, this will be like the, if I top off again, my gray is just under half right now, and everything else is just higher than that gradually. I've topped off twice since I began doing this with the 8550. Knock on wood. See, now you did it. Yeah, you should have never said that. Contact image sensor. So the sensor is basically monochrome, and it is the LEDs that do the red, green, and blue light. Whoa. Interesting. Again, to me, that's just genius, the way these designers come up with that. All right, let's go ahead and print Richard's new image. Let me get this over to my monitor so I can line it up better. Here it is. And there it is. So, Richard, what was the, you told me on your email, what is this of? What town in Maryland? And I see nothing. There are no power lines, nothing anywhere. And there's an old car right there, even with a shadow underneath it. Gosh. All right, we'll print this on the 8550. That's looking good. All settings should be the same. I don't think it is. Westminster is actually east of me, east of Nathan in Olney on 108. I don't think that. I think this is further out west. We'll wait for Richard to tell us. Yeah, sometimes with an Epson printer, you should be able to just print. Do some bars of solid colors and see if that helps. I found out that I had like boxes of multiple 20 sheet packs of that luster paper or semi-gloss. You used to be able to buy one and get 9 free from Canon. I don't know what the heck they were doing or thinking. So I just stocked up. I would stock up. I ended up with like 100 packs of it. I've been using it for the last many years, and I just found another full case of it. I made a bunch of 5x7s of the graduates. I went to the National Cathedral last Monday. Wow, what a place. I had never been there. I've been here since 89 and never went there. No, before that, since 83, and never went there to see that. So amazing. I want to go during the day when they're having these little private tours and that sort of thing without big crowds. There were too many people there that day. So I printed them all on the, this is lovely. Printed them all on the 8550 on this very same paper. Look at that. We just went back in time. Richard doing his magic again. Amazing. Yeah. And yeah, it matches. It matches. What can I say? Yeah. Yep. And by matching, I mean it's not looking pinkish or reddish. It's looking the proper color balance. Everything matches as far as color. So, oh, well, you used it for certain things only. I know that. Required things for your customers. And thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I think, look at this. I'm going to go ahead and remove this and then just system tray it. Look at that. I got nothing left. Nothing else to talk about. So we did good today. We were able to finally catch up with everything. I'll save it as a blank document. I'm going to load my little video of me when I was a kid all the way up to now. Hope you guys enjoy that. Again, I thank you guys profusely for continuing to hop on here on Sundays. And let me think, hang on one very short second here. Let me make sure I look at my calendar. So we are going to be visited by Harold and his two best friends on the 21st. They arrive in the morning, I believe. We'll hang out all afternoon together, or part of the morning as well. Take you on all over this area. Friday will be the museum. Saturday will be Gettysburg and possibly Harper's Ferry. And they fly out on Sunday. So we'll see you guys on Sunday. Again, I'll be able to do this Sunday. Now, the 31st, no live stream on the 31st. I'll be doing it on the Saturday, the 30th. Okay. Saturday, the 30th of May, I will be doing the live stream, just like I did, believe, last time. So that's it. Hope to see you guys then. And as always, thank you so much for everything you guys do for me to keep me going. Otherwise, I just would not do it anymore. Bye bye, everybody. Look at that boy.